What's up, y'all? Daryl D back at you with another video about the rap music that was released on vinyl from my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I want to dedicate this particular episode to a good friend of mine who recently passed. My man Kid Millions, straight from Milwaukee, a rapper, producer, uh, business owner, uh, record dealer, record collector, very knowledgeable about rap music and soul and funk, all around great guy. John, I miss you, and I know I will see you again one day. Peace and love to John, aka Kid Millions. Okay, let's move right along. Um, Today I want to focus on just a couple of groups. I'm going to show you just a handful of records, and I want to focus on two different groups from my hometown of Milwaukee. Two incredible groups. The first group was a group called Boot Camp, and no, not that Boot Camp. The first Boot Camp. First boot camp I know about. Anyway, um, boot camp had a few different releases. This is one of their 12 inches. They had two 12 inches. One came out in '94, and I'm not sure what year the other one came out. Uh, so I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. This one, this 12 inch, this is a 12 inch and sort of like an EP. I don't know. This was called Boot Camp Number One. Let me get a closer look at that. Boot Camp Number One, and two songs in there. One called HOE and one called Trying. Um, and then the B side has a number of songs on it. Like the B side actually has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs on it. And they're just very small, short snippets. They're all instrumentals, and they are from a full length CD that is called Respect Campaign, which I also own. Let me show you the B side. Those are all like short snippets, instrumental snippets of the songs. Now, let me just say that the full length CD called Respect Campaign, when that came out, it was very prolific for Milwaukee because Boot Camp was the type of group. There was like maybe 6 of those guys, 5 or 6 of those guys, and I was really cool with the DJ Greg Waugh. I talked about him on a video about my Milwaukee mixtape collection. Anyway, they were very pro-black, black revolutionary underground music. They'd have a hint of a reggae tone in some of their songs. I absolutely loved seeing them perform back in the day. I would often see them at one of the nightclubs around the city, either performing or just hanging out. They would perform at African World Festival every August that we used to have down at the lakefront. They were down with Michael McGee and his old campaign. Mike McGee Jr. was down with these dudes. It was an incredible time to be pro-black. It's always an incredible time to be pro-black, but back then it was just a beautiful situation. And every place these guys would perform, I would be in there checking them out, and love seeing Greg Waugh on the turntables do his thing. And these guys was like the blackest, most dread-headed, underground group, around, and they were all like college educated. I believe they were all teachers or instructors. They worked in schools and colleges and that kind of stuff. Very, very educated individuals, and as pro-black as they come. Really, really enjoyed seeing them get down. Anyway, so that release respect campaign was like a really, really dope CD. Good luck ever finding it, because when they pop up nowadays, they're very expensive. My favorite song on there was a song called "They," and it was like they used a sample from what's this song? They just keep holding me, won't let go. They just keep. So that's the sample from that song, and they use some other samples too, like the Juicy Fruit M2Me record on one of those songs. That was one of my favorite songs off the album as well. Um, but this is the 12 inch. Like I said, I'm not sure which of these 12 inches came out first. And I was going to pull out the CD, but I like keeping it vinyl related. So, that's what we're going to do. But man, Boot Camp Click, I miss those guys. I just ran into one of them maybe 6-7 months ago. And it was really cool, kind of reminiscing about the old days and all of that. Here's another 12 inch that they put out. This is sort of like this is a 12 inch, and this definitely came out in 1994 because the first song is entitled Fresh Fest 94. And then they got the Beef remix and the Crotches. Definitely 94. Yeah, 94 flavor right there. So I actually have their music on CD, cassette, and vinyl because, when it's a group that profound and they're from your hometown, that's what you do. You buy everything in sight. So yeah, I believe both of these 12 inches, you can still get your hands on those for a decent price. It's just a CD that like really, really shot up. So I don't know, good luck getting your hands on that. So big ups to Boot Camp, the Boot Camp from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right. So the next group I want to introduce to you is a group called the Ill Chief Rockers. And this is their 12-inch EP. Now, this was on their label. It was called Breaking Our Records. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this song was produced by Todd Peachy Thomas, aka Speech from Arrested Development. This is 4 songs on here: Jealous, I Gotta Rock, We Want Your Sister, and then the Jealous dub mix, and another song called Ayo to the Posse, where they just kind of shouting out homies from Milwaukee. If you look right back here, I got that side signed by Stricky Love. The members were Kid Crab and Stricky Love. Now let me tell you a little bit about the Ill Chief Rockers. They were like the equivalent of a Nas and a LL, or they were those lyricist guys from Milwaukee. We had some incredible lyricists, and if you ever get your hands on this record, you'll see exactly where I'm coming from. This is probably one of the illest records to ever come out of Milwaukee. I believe this was, what year was this? I can barely read this, even with my glasses. It doesn't have a year on here, but this was like the mid to mid to late 80s. I want to say 87, somewhere in there, give or take a year. Um, but Ferris lyrics on here. The scratches is ill. Big ups to I believe DJ Supreme and Peachy scratched on here, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the Jealous and I Wanna Rock. I Wanna Rock is like 8 minutes long. Okay. And when I tell you hardcore, trust me when I say that. Both of those songs were re-released on Jamil Records, I believe in 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, on 45. So the 45 you can still get your hands on. This record, super rare. Good luck. Good luck finding it. If you find it, I doubt you're gonna find it for less than $100 unless you get lucky. But the 45 reissue, you can still get that one. It has an abbreviated version of I Wanna Rock on there, so it's a little bit smaller, but you'll still get the picture of it. Now, I believe after high school, Kid Crab went off to college. If my memory serves me correct, he went to college in Minnesota, and while there or somewhere in that time frame, he released another 12-inch, a solo 12-inch. It was also on the label Breaking All Records, and it was called Lamont is the Baddest. This song, they used the Barry White sample, and he absolutely annihilates this beat on here. And then DJ Supreme definitely cuts it up crazy on this record. The B-side, what is the B-side? That's a good question. The B-side is a song called That's What I'm Screaming and Setting Them Straight. So this is like 3 songs, with Lamont is the Baddest instrumental. So 4 songs in all. Nice little 12-inch EP. Kid Crab, Strick, he went on to get a deal with Tommy Boy Records. He released a bunch of 12 inches on there that you can still get. He was a part of, in my opinion, the first and greatest super group, modern super group, or just what I'm going to call a super group, with Wordsworth, Punchline, and Master Ace. And they put out a few albums as well. So make sure you check out EMC. My Joint is What It Stands For. That's the name of the song, What It Stands For. Incredible. So Stricky Love, big up to that brother. And big up to Kid Crab. And yes, if there was a hardcore record that I could suggest to you from Milwaukee, it would be Ill Chief Rockers and Kid Crab with his solo joint right here too. These are very expensive to find. I don't believe was Lamont is the Baddest. Was that reissued? I feel like it was, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe not. Anyway, good luck finding those two. Super duper rare, super duper expensive if and when they pop up. I don't know, hit up Soul Noble on Discogs. He might have some of that stuff. He has a lot of the Milwaukee 12 inches. But I actually wanted to, one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this group is because I was kind of focusing on the label as well as the group. So Breaking All Records was their label, their personal label. and I wanted to show you what was on that label. These are the only 2 records that came out on that label. So Milwaukee has a very rich history of rap music. I love everything that came out from the 80s. I have a lot more to show you guys, but for now, it's all about Boot Camp and Ill Chief Rockers. All right, that's what I have for you for now. I'll be back with more of these Milwaukee vinyl videos. If you want to know about some serious hip hop history, go to my video. It's called Milwaukee, the story of Milwaukee rap. It's the very first video that I posted right here on YouTube. So just go to my first video and check it out. It'll give you a rich history of Milwaukee rappers, as well as a lot of the vinyl that came out starting in the early 80s. Well, mid 80s. Well, we'll put it that way. All right. This is Daryl D signing off. We'll see you next time. Until then, peace and love. You guys be safe.